Hello, welcome to Scott Bryant on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter and Instagram. Thank you for coming to my YouTube video, and this video is all about stinking, filthy lies in the fitness industry. And this is lie number 3. And lie number 3 is you're self-employed in our gym. Now, you can't be self-employed in the gym because you've got to wear their uniform and you've got to use their business cards with their logo on. And then they'll tell you what you can and what you can't charge. Now this to me is not self-employment. This to me is not freelance. This to me is them dominating you and keeping you as an employee but not paying you sick pay and not paying you holiday pay. Okay? And all the entitlements to a pension and that what you should be getting. Now on my earlier video where I spoke about the fitness industry and how they're only paying the minimum wage for 8 hours, now they're doing that on the preface of that you're going to get holiday pay and sick pay. But they're crafty. What they do is when you get to that time of when you're entitled to that payment, they'll make up a story and get rid of you. They'll sack you. They say, ta-da, we don't need you anymore, on your bike. And that's so they don't have to pay that holiday pay, that sick pay. So that is a big loop in the law of what the government has just recently changed in the fitness industry, because one gym got into trouble where I know a trainer, he was doing 40 hours a week for a whole year and never earned any money whatsoever. So I've got no problem in wearing a uniform and using their business cards. But what I have got a problem with is the extortionate prices they're charging. So for the t-shirt and the business cards, they're charging you £500, £600, £700, £800. Now, 250 business cards costs from Vistaprint £5. To get a logo t-shirt would cost you, say, £20, £30. So why do they have to make this huge, ginormous profit off of you when there's no need for that? So, and then going back to where the gyms will tell you what you can charge. Oh, our trainers here only charge £50 an hour. Now this is completely wrong, because if you're self-employed and you've got self-employed status, you should be allowed to charge exactly what you think you're worth. If you think you're worth a tenner, charge a tenner. If you think you're worth 50 quid, charge 50 quid. But I can tell you from 20 years of experience in the fitness industry, when I first started, I was charging £75 an hour. And this is 20 years on. You're telling me that tax hasn't gone up, national insurance contributions isn't more, your rent's not gone up, your rate's not gone up, your tax for your car and all this hasn't gone up. Of course it has. So the trainers that I've had a couple of trainers tell me what they're charging, £65 an hour or £45 an hour. Oh, we can't get any more than that. The reason why you can't get any more than that, numpty, Wally, is that you've followed the sheep where they're all charging the same. So they're all trying to outsmart each other. Oh, he's charging 45, I'll charge 35. Oh, he's charging 35, I'll charge 25. But then they're not realising that they're killing their own businesses. I have had 3 really good friends. Their gyms have closed down. They haven't been able to keep them afloat simply because, in my opinion, their rate was too low. They were still charging the normal PT rate of like £45, £35 or whatever it is. Oh, it's the area I live in, so I need to charge less. But then you've got to think about your overheads. If your overheads are ginormous, you need to charge a ginormous rate. If you're in central London, you shouldn't be charging 45, 55, 65 an hour because it's not enough to cover what you've got to pay out. I've had clients come to me and they want to pay me less than my hourly rate. But when I explain to them that nearly £40 of what they want to pay me goes to the gym for my travel and my food. So if I let them pay me what they want to pay, you know, 55, 65 an hour, I'll be on £25 an hour for travelling an hour there and an hour back. Does that make sense? I'm sure it doesn't. So the big fat lie in the fitness industry: come and work for us, walk the floor, we'll give you 3 months, no, we'll give you a month in which to build your business. That is madness. To build a business, a solid business, takes 2 to 3 years. But if you're in a gym and you're a good floor walker, it might take you 3 months. But giving you 1 month to build a client base, this is just unbelievable. So here's my top tips. When you go and check out the new gym that you want to work in, do they have an existing client base that you can work with? If there is, fantastic. That's all the hard work done. Next, are you going to have to floor walk? Will they give you longer than a month? If they're only willing to give you a month, tell them on their bike and go somewhere else, because a month is just not long enough to build a client base. And then you'll be whacked with a bill like the 2nd or 3rd month of a minimum of £1,000 a month. So if you've only got one client that's signed up for 20 sessions at X amount of money, you'll see that you're going to run out of money really quickly by the time you paid your rent. But unfortunately, the real horrible side of the fitness industry is that they don't fucking care. All they care about is, are you paying them at the end of the month? And if you're not, you're on your bike. You'll get kicked out. So it's really, really important that you vet the gym. If you want to go and work in a gym where you're doing 8 hours a week for £8 an hour and trying to scradgle the floor to try and get the £15 an hour client, where you're going to get charged more tax and national insurance, and then the gym's taking the bigger cut. So they're not really, they're having you for free in that gym. Does that make sense? So if they're charging 45, giving you 15, £35 is left maybe, or 30, that's going in their pocket. And if they're a charity run gym, they won't pay any tax anyway. So it's a big tax fiddle. Can you see that? A lot of the gyms will go, oh, we work for charities. But charities don't pay no tax. But they're still driving around in their Mercedes cars. Just see where the fitness industry is really sewn up in lots of ways just to suck out your money and not to make you successful. If you're working in a big gym like DW Fitness, they have a really good system, because I used to work for Fitness First many moons ago. But other gyms have got worse systems, so you need to vet around and find what's best for you. But really, the big fat lie is you can't charge that, you can't charge this, you can't charge that. It's all nonsense. Any entrepreneur or business person will respect what you charge, and if it's out of their affordability, they won't work with you. If it's in their affordability, they will work with you. I think the big top PTs like myself and other PTs online, their minimum hourly rate is £100 an hour now, simply because they're paying 30, 40, 50 pounds in which to rent the space, or that's their overhead that they have to pay if they've got their own premises. And this is the only way that these gyms will stay afloat. If you're undercharging, you will get in debt and you will fold within the first 5 years. And that's average for the gym. The average time a PT will last in the fitness industry is 3 months. And that's simply because you're not getting holiday pay, you're not getting sick pay, you're not getting a regular salary, and everything's all up in the air. And unless you're determined, like a dog with a bone like myself, and you don't want to give up, this is the only way that you will make it, is by not giving up. And maybe if you're living at home and mum and dad are happy to support you while you're trying to build yourself up. But it's hard out there. It's not easy. If you think being a PT is going to be easy, you need a big bad slap to wake you up. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed this video. Oh, I was supposed to do the one on supplements and supplement companies trying to pull personal trainers in to buy their supplements that they can't sell in the shops with network marketing. So that will be the next video. Sorry it wasn't the one to follow on, which I promised, but it will be the next video I'll do. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please like, please subscribe, please press the bell icon there so you get regular updates, and please check my book out on Amazon, Waterstones, foils, and really other good stockists. You can buy it. It's $6.99. It's the price of a cup of coffee and a cookie. You know I'm the cookie monster. And so if you really want to read about my 20-year career, you can read about it in there. And there's some things I've